not put so much on their plate in one day, trying to make more quality time, or maybe a little bit more quantity time. And I just, I'm trying to understand this. I partly do understand a lot of it. I read the Bible. I'm a Christian, but I'm not going to make these videos primarily about preaching. I'm just saying that the Bible talks about a time when people would become impatient. It implies impatience, that they would be patient, disloyal, disrespectful to other people, and all that. And I really do believe that, because it seems like it's gotten worse the last 10, 20, 30 years. Okay, I'm 37. I don't know everything, but I remember when, even in the 80s, it seemed like life was a little bit more relaxed, and people weren't quite as bad, okay, in the traffic and their mentality. But now it's like, okay, it can't get much worse. It can't get much worse, because things are really bad. So, when you know this mentality that people have, there's something wrong with this world. There's something that's causing it. There may be the stuff in the foods we eat too, because I've read up about the stuff we have in the food, the MSG and all that. Maybe it makes them a little bit, I don't know, crazy or hyper. I don't know. But anyway, you have to be careful out there. If you're a careful person, that's great, But, and another thing that I hate too, that I didn't think of saying, maybe I've mentioned it before, maybe not. But as soon as the light turns green, and if you're one of the first ones at the front of the intersection there, the split second it turns green, there's somebody behind you or back of you somewhere honking, like honk honk, like move it, as if the car can go from 0 to 40 in just like a split second. Okay, so you get ready, and you're supposed to go. You're not just sitting there like, is it green yet? And they're back there wanting you to go yesterday. Okay, so there's another sign of impatience. I can't understand that. How do they expect you to go zoom and be gone that second? Again, they want instant gratification. They just want, they want their email loaded in a split second. It's really disgusting. And it just gets really hard to deal with these kind of people. You just want to say, line up, relax, don't be so in such a hurry, take your time. Don't put so much on your plate. And I'm trying to simplify my life, and I have times where I start to feel bored, so I try to find something to fill my time with, and I do some reading and my things that I like to do. And I've cut my internet time down quite a bit. I used to spend like hours a day on the internet, and I've cut out some of these bad habits, because then it made me irritable and cranky and everything like everybody else. So it's helped me have a better attitude. So I don't know what the problem is with the other people, why they're like this, So, but I think it's just more than what the Bible foretells. The Bible says things like this, but there must be also scientific or a physical reason behind it, besides saying that they have this spirit, this mentality. So I'm thinking a lot of it is again, as I mentioned, the technology and they want instant gratification. Maybe it's the food they eat. That people are just who have bad attitudes, and they're not mannerly. They don't care about anybody else but themselves. It's complete selfishness and greedy. So, I do understand some of it, but I don't understand if there's a one source or a combination of sources. I think it's a combination of sources. That's my opinion. And anyway, if you're out there and if you're one of those who is going kind of fast, just watch your speed limit. I mean, everybody's allowed to go slightly over, and if it's not a medical emergency, you're not rushing somebody to the hospital, just slow down a little. Some people are trying to abide by the law and do the best that they can to be honest and modest, and so you don't help if you're one of those people that goes real fast and expects them to go, even though they're going the limit. Remember, they may be going the limit. Maybe to you they're going slow because you're so used to going 10, 15 miles over the limit. But you got to look at your speedometer and see and make sure, and maybe that will help a little bit more. And if you don't like that, then that's just advice I'm giving. But everybody suffers consequences of their actions. All of us, me, everybody out there. And if you're doing something that contradicts what you're supposed to be doing, like going over the limit or doing the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing, I mean, you're going to pay somehow. I mean, it's just natural. And it's not some natural force of power that's going to come down and like something that people believe in, karma. I don't believe in karma. I don't believe there's some inner force that comes down and, gets revenge of you. And I do believe, though, that you reap what you sow. And if you're doing bad, you're going to reap bad consequences. If you do good, for the most part, you're going to reap good consequences. So I hope everybody will be careful out there, because it's a crazy world. And as part of my trying to respect my mother more, as I was talking about in the other videos about respect for your parents, she was about to leave the other day to pick one of my nephews up from the school, and there's traffic and people go fast, and I feel like saying to her, Mom, please be careful out there. It's a crazy world. And at first she didn't take it like I was concerned for her. She seemed a little bit offended. So I said, I only said it because I care for you. And then she realized that when I said I only say it because I care about you, she realized that, and she hugged me, something like that. And I didn't want to get all sappy, but she seemed to respect that I was concerned for her about that. So, and if you're careful, tell your parents or your friends to be careful out there, so they won't go too fast, or they can look out for the lunatics on the street that, no offense, I have to use lunatics. It's just a term for somebody who's not watching out and they act crazy. Maybe they're not crazy, but they act like crazy people. And tell them to be careful. And if you have teenage kids who are driving, they know they're supposed to be careful, but they're still growing and their brains are still developing. So their sense of reason is not like somebody who's 30, 35, 40 years old. So remind your kids to drive safely and don't go fast on the streets. And don't make some judgment that they think they could make it through that light before it turns red. Maybe you can't make it through the light, and there could be an accident. It's happened, and I saw an accident one night. I felt it coming. It was like intuition, and we were in that same intersection. If we had been to the left, we would have been the ones that got hit when I was in the car with my father one time, several years ago. I don't know whose fault that was over there, but it's scary. And you do not want to be in an accident. I've never been